Well, we're joined today by Sam Morton and Jacob Panons. They're with Amsterdam, following the fortunes of Brighton and Hove Albion, who have got a Europa League match against Ajax, Dutch giants Ajax, tomorrow night at the Johan Cruyff Arena. So you made the journey over yesterday, Sam and Jacob. How was it? How was the journey across? And did you see many Brighton fans on the way?
We didn't see any coming in, actually. It was quite quiet, to be fair. I think 4 trains were leaving St Pancras station this morning. I think 2 to Paris, 2 to Amsterdam. But we were expecting to see more Brighton fans than we did, really. I think quite a lot of people were flying in. So we didn't actually see any coming in. But it was, simple journey, really, and got in good time. Got in good time this morning, arrived about 11 o'clock. And we just been walking around the city, really. And we bumped into a big group of Brighton fans already. One was dressed in a Seagulls outfit, and he was loving life. I think there were a few who had a bit too much to drink already. So, but you could tell how excited they were, though, and how massive the occasion is for Brighton. And it's really great to see. And I think it'll be nice to see more Brighton fans over the next few hours. And I'm sure more will arrive this evening and tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the best time, isn't it, to be a Brighton fan at the moment, and to just a few years back to think that they'd be playing in games like these in Amsterdam and against teams like Ajax. It's no wonder the fans are like you say, loving life over there.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. One of the guy who was dressed up like a seagull, he's been a season ticket holder since 2011, and I mean, I'm sure it must be pretty surreal from that first game at the Ajax against Doncaster, now playing at the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam, against one of the biggest clubs in world football. It's just, it's unbelievable, really, when you look at Brighton, especially even prior to 2011 as well. Yeah.
No, it's great. They had their first taste of the away Europa League experience in Marseille. Can you give us a flavour of what Amsterdam is like? Whereabouts are you at the moment?
So in the city centre at the moment, and it's buzzing with people. It's really, really busy. It's raining at the moment, not too hard, so it's not too bad. But I've been here once before, and it's one of my favourite cities that I've ever visited. Really, it's just so calm and it's so kind of chilled out, really, and it's just such a lovely feel to the place, and it's just fantastic kind of city. So much kind of culture and history, and it's amazing, really, that Brighton will be playing in such a massive kind of part of the country and such a massive football club tomorrow night, and it's so exciting for the club and for the fans, and I bet they can't wait for it all, really. And it's been really good so far, and just can't wait for tomorrow.
Great stuff. Yeah, as you say, a really good occasion for the fans, but the team themselves, they've got a serious job to do, haven't they? A win would really set them up in the group. What do you make of Ajax at the moment, Jacob? And what do you think of Brighton's chances of getting a result?
Yeah, I mean, Ajax haven't been having the best season. They've been bottom of the table. They've gone through a couple of managers, and things just aren't working well for them at any stretch of the imagination. So they're going to be desperate to gain some sort of winning mentality from the game. But at the same time, Brighton have got to look at that game and see that one to win. Obviously, they probably didn't pick up as many points in the first 3 games as they would have liked. So this is going to be seen as a must-win game, because you need to be picking up points away from home if you want to progress through the group. And Athens is going to be really tricky. Marseille proved to be a test. So, I think Brighton can see it as a winnable fixture. But I think Ajax are going to be looking to get that winning spirit back as well.
Yeah. You went to the home game, didn't you, Sam, when Brighton beat Ajax 2-0? Do you think they're going to be a much better outfit on their home soil? They're a bit disappointing, weren't they, at the Amex? Ajax?
Yeah, it was a really disappointing performance from Ajax at the Amex, and it was kind of expected, really. I think they're on a terrible run of form, and I think they were bottom of the league going into the game, and it was just real lack of confidence, and you could really see that in the team at the time. Brighton took full advantage, really, and I looked by far the better team on the day. I'm expecting a far different kind of game. I think Ajax are obviously the home team. They've got to kind of assert their authority. Going to have the majority of the crowd and the support behind them, and it'd be interesting to see how Brighton cope with that. Obviously, they've had the experience at Marseille of obviously a bit of a hostile atmosphere, but it'll be another big challenge, really, and such a huge stadium with such a passionate set of fans, and it will be interesting to see how they cope again with that. Obviously, they did really well to come back from 2-0 down in Marseille, so they've definitely proved they can handle it. But I'm definitely expecting a better performance from Ajax. They've obviously come into the game on a couple of wins now as well. They've scored a few goals. Bergwijn's in good scoring form, and Chipa Akpom has got a couple as well. So yeah, I think Ajax are definitely going to be better than they were at the Amex, and expecting a tougher game for sure.
Yeah, and a big night as well for Joel Veltman, isn't it? A former Ajax player, plays for Brighton, and also Jean-Paul van Hecker as well, isn't he? A very talented young Dutch defender. A big occasion for those two, Jacob.
Yeah, massive. Obviously, Veltman returning. He spent 19 years at Ajax, so I'm sure he'll be happy to return. But I hope I bet he's hoping to bring 3 points back to Brighton rather than leaving it with his fellow countrymen. And Van Heck, obviously, I think this is going to be a huge game for Van Heck. Obviously, the only defender to have started all 3 games of the Europa League under De Zerbi so far. And, he's a man who's going to be looking at the Dutch national team and thinking that, there's maybe a slot in there for him. Never got called up before. Never featured for the national team before. So I think he's going to be seeing this as a massive chance to, make himself a household name in his own country.
Yeah. And just looking at another player who he has been called up to the Brazil national team this week, Joao Pedro. He's the joint leading scorer in the Europa League with 4 goals so far. How key is he going to be, Sam?
Very key. He's really found his scoring form in the Europa League so far. And hopefully it continues tomorrow. And he just looks so good, even in the league. He just links up really well with the attackers around him, and he's forming some good partnerships there, especially with Matoma. So that's really great to see. And he's adjusted really well to De Zerbi's kind of ideas and the way that he likes to play. And I think he's only going to get better. He's still so young, and he's got that as obviously a Brazilian flair to him as well. So yeah, it's a really exciting start that he's made, and he'll be really important tomorrow. I think Brighton need to make a fast start, get an early goal to make the Ajax fans uncomfortable, and don't let Ajax to get control of the game, really. So I think, Joao Pedro is going to play a really important part, and I think it's really, really great to see the impact that he's made already.
Yeah, great stuff. And when you bumped into the Brighton fans, did they give a prediction? Were they in confident mood that they were going to win the game, or did they not even care about the game itself?
Yeah, I did ask them, to be fair. I think they did say that it was going to be a tougher game, as I said before, than it was at the Amex. I think they predicted a draw from this one, but I think I got the sense they wouldn't really mind either way. Really, they're just so excited
to be in Amsterdam. Yeah.
I don't think they'll remember the result this time next week, so I don't think it really matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think a draw would be a good result, Jacob?
In a way, yes. I think, if you told Brighton fans maybe at the start of the season they could go to Amsterdam and leave with a point, they probably would have taken it. But I mean, looking at, obviously the draw away in Marseille, the loss at home against Athens, they need to start picking up points in fast. And, I think they would just about take a draw, but that means they almost need to win away in Athens, obviously depending on how other results go. But I think they would just about take a draw, but I think they should really be pushing for a win today.
Yeah. Sam, do you think a win is on the cards? How do you see it going?
Yeah, I see a win is definitely possible. I think a draw will be a good result. I think after beating them at home, I think to back that up with a point, I think will be a decent return. 4 points from 2 games against Ajax, and it will leave them in a strong position. And but as Jacob said, it would leave them in a position where they'd probably have to go and beat Athens and maybe Marseille as well. So a win would be amazing, and it would really put them into an amazing position going into the knockout rounds. And I think if they would be in the strongest position out of the other teams in the group, if they were to get a win tomorrow. So it'll be interesting. We're off to the press conference soon to have a chat with De Zerbi and Van Hecker. So it'll be interesting to see how they see it. If they're really, obviously they'll be looking for a win, but how vital they see that. And we've also been given the opportunity to go to the training session for 15 minutes as well. So that'll be really
brilliant.
cool.
Yeah,
it'd be cool to see kind of how they're setting up for the game, and any ideas that they're showing in the build up to the match.
Great stuff. So the Brighton team will be training at the Johan Cruyff Arena tonight, will they, ahead of the match, just to get a feel for the pitch and the stadium? Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, so really looking forward to seeing that. And the first time that I would have been in kind of behind the scenes at a training session myself. So can't wait for that.
Great stuff. Well, thanks again to you both for joining us. Enjoy the atmosphere of Amsterdam and the training session, and we'll follow all your reports from all the build up from the press conferences and the training, and then the match report itself on Sussex World. So enjoy the match, guys.
Thanks, Darren.
All right.